having safe spaces like this cultivated to where we could like come together and talk about that. I should like. I don't really know. I just met Toni today. You know what I'm saying? Right. I feel like we do need those safe havens to where we could like I could open up to him. Yeah. And he feels like, you know what I'm saying, like I can't. That, you know, that resonates with me in some kind of way because he may be. I don't know what he's going through. You know what I mean? You don't know what nobody's going through, but just all that to say is like we do need more like safe spaces cultivated for like black men to come together and talk about their traumas. You know what I mean?
That's real talk.
Impact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to their community.
Let's go.
Man, I love it, brother.
Mike.
Hey.
You know what day it is, man.
Hey, man. I love this one. I already love this one.
Why do you love this one?
Because, bro, this is my exact age. And this is the exact number episode that we on, brother.
Ooh, what number is that?
Come on, bro. This is number 30, brother.
Number 30.
This is legendary,
Let's
brother.
get it.
They said we were going to quit after 5.
Man, we surpassed it.
Bro.
Times 6.
Come on, brother. You know how to do that math.
That math is math in the day.
Man, I love it.
But with that being said, you know we got to get into some housekeeping rules. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. But please make sure that you click the subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss when we upload a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on the video. And you can't forget to comment. Come on, we know that you guys want to talk about everything that we're about to talk about today. So drop your thoughts down below. We'll definitely read them out and we'll respond to every single one of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Also, if you guys are listening to us on the many podcast platforms that we are on, thank you so much. And don't forget to leave us a rating on that platform. We greatly appreciate it. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what we can improve on, so on and so forth. And let's get it popping. All right. So, Mike.
What's good, brother?
With it being episode 30, man, we got a loaded episode today.
Okay, for sure.
And with it being loaded, I mean, we already looking brighter today because we got some new lights in the building.
Man, got quality equipment, brother, in this
big facts. And with that being said, man, we got some quality guests, too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I know you guys might have heard some laughter in the background a little earlier. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our 2 guests for today's episode. Shout out to you guys, man. Tell everybody about yourselves. Let's start with Ant. What's going on, man?
What's good, y'all? My name is Ant. Stage name, Toni. I'm an aspiring artist, aspiring actor, content creator, dancer, what else? Congolese, and yeah, that's me.
Dope.
No doubt. Welcome in.
Yes, sir.
Sean.
What's good?
The Sean Mike Anderson, man. I've shouted you out so many times on this show. The man is finally here in the flesh, ladies and gentlemen. He's here.
What's good? It's your boy Sean Anderson, aka Seany Knox. I'm an independent artist from Nashville, Tennessee. Just serial entrepreneur. I love photography. I love just creativity, and I love the Residual Impact Show. So we here.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, B, like technically, we are living out our name, bro. Like from us just starting this, right? We have given a residual impact to other people that now, like, they're on the show. They've seen the value that we give, so now we like putting them, and then they about to get some more value.
Yeah.
So it'll be another impact. Gonna be just all residual. Yo. It's a whole cycle, brother. It's a whole cycle, man. Out here.
So listen, man, that's a blessing in itself.
It is.
And I'm so grateful for having this opportunity to be able to launch something like this podcast and to be able to impact all the lives that we have impacted so far. It will continue to impact, as a matter of fact.
Big facts.
So, with that being said, man, we have a packed show today, and let's just get right on into it. Before we start with us, Mike, I want to go ahead and start with the guests. Gentlemen, how was y'all's week?
Pretty good, pretty productive. trying my best to get rid of the distractions.
Facts.
Hey, what distractions are we talking about, by the way?
Oh,
What you talking about, Willis?
honestly, I'm gonna say internal distractions, and I'm gonna say, you know, I start to distract myself a lot, you know, especially with my phone, and just also with just me, like, all right, and you gotta get this work done, and it's like, yo, you know, you got a tournament coming up, so you gotta work on that 2K game, you know, because you're trying to bust some people's, you know. But yeah, it's just little stuff that, you know, just little tweaks, you know, that I can definitely switch up, you know. Time management, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's huge.
But being here is really helping me just, you know, like, all right, enough games, get that stuff to the side, and, you know, tackle the target, you know. So yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Dig that.
Yeah, for sure. So my week, man, was very tiring. I do unfortunately have a 9 to 5, so I had to jump back into a job just to kind of like, you know, handle some other like projects.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to learn how to. Well, I'm learning how to, because when you say you're trying, you're not really trying. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, you know, I am practicing and exemplifying positive self-talk this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I've been figuring out how to get out of my 9 to 5 by like day trading, and also I've been getting to pick up the photography again too. So I am a photographer. So make sure y'all tap into me, the real Seany Knox. Check out some of my work. Hit me up. But yeah, the week was tiring, bro. But the cool thing is I got my project back today. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Yeah, like I'm very excited to drop this music. And, you know, it's just I'm in a season of manifestation. You know what I mean? So I'm just excited. You know what I mean?
I dig that. Mike, how was your week, man?
Man, stop talking about my wife. That was my week, bro. That was my week, bro. My bad. My fault, bro. I'm still got a little PTSD.
I will. I definitely will.
Yo.
I'm not gonna mention her name ever again.
I'm just saying. Let me stop. Y'all.
I still can't believe like how everything went down. You know what I mean?
Right.
Neither can I, but I mean,
That's in the history books now.
it is. And I know all of y'all are tired of hearing the talk.
Yeah.
But so what? We still gonna talk about it. I'm gonna leave timestamps down below if you want to skip. But let's talk about it anyway. The way that it went down, man, it was just like, why?
Yeah.
Did you really have to resolve that situation with violence? You really had to like get up out your seat, walk all the way up to the stage, and physically, you know what I'm saying, handle your business in front of the world.
You had to be thinking about that too as you're walking up, like, I'm about to embarrass this dude right now.
And embarrass yourself in the process.
Right, exactly. I just think that he was under a lot of scrutiny. Everybody handles different situations differently. So I'm going to be honest, I am 50-50.
Yeah.
I feel like it happened the way it was supposed to because he is under certain stress, and his wife do kind of put him under.
Kind of.
Like she definitely does. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some type of trauma there that they need to alleviate and relinquish in order to move forward in their relationship. I also feel like yes, he was wrong too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like on the fence. You know what I mean with everything about it.
Yeah,
but quite frankly, I am tired of hearing about it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I need that wrapped up by Thursday. Thanks, management.
Well, as of today's recording, it is Friday. So we still talking about it.
Facts.
Speaking of, man, we're in April already.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, today's April 1st. As of this recording, of course, you guys will hear it after April 1st. But yo, the year is going by, man. Spring is here. It's April. You know, my week's been the same as it's always been, just busy, work, editing.
Grinding.
What more can I say? I'm grinding, right? I'm working to get to that next level.
That's it.
And then hearing all of this about the slap. Like, this is what everybody kept talking about.
Right.
Big fact.
So
I've been having to put down social media because I'm just tired of seeing that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and usually when things like that happen, it's obviously some type of distraction going on. Something it's like the government's passing some type of agenda that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Something underlying is going on right now. So we can either continue to indulge in this. I mean, I ain't trying to kill the mood, but I'm just saying like that. This is how our community thinks. Like we indulge in so much escapism, bro. Like we're not focused on like the real issues. Like
talk about it.
Getting ourselves out of a 9 to 5, for instance. You know what I mean? Like why am I still working the job, bro? Why am I still slaving my life away? Like when I'm supposed to be dedicating my life. My purpose is to build generational wealth for my family. So,
Amen.
Well, that's the thing, though. And in all honesty, I'm going to play a little devil's advocate with that right there. Like, normally what I always say, and this is something I strongly believe in, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a job at all.
For sure.
However, to Sean's point, I will say, I mean, there's a lot of us who don't really care to work for a job, care to work for somebody else because we want our own things, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with either side. And with that being said, it's like, yo, if it's in you to be your own boss, go after what it is that you want. And if it's not within you and you feel content working for somebody else, there's nothing wrong with that. Handle that business. Do whatever it is that you got to do to put food on your family's table, put clothes on your back, put a roof over your head, so on and so forth. But yeah, to your point, I'm kind of with you on that. Because me personally, I know that my purpose is bigger than my 9 to 5. So I get it. I completely get it.
Right.
But I know a lot of people out there, maybe some of our listeners, I'm not sure if all of our listeners are aspiring entrepreneurs, but to some people, I know that, their job is what keeps the world going for them.
Absolutely.
But
maybe though, I think about it is like with social media in general, right? It's like an instant gratification thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the same thing with a job. It's like, your paycheck gonna come at either a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a gratification type of thing, right? Versus, when you get into this entrepreneurial space, you may not see your real value for some years until you put in all that work ahead of time. And it's just like maybe people don't have the patience or they don't believe in themselves enough to believe that it's coming.
How we surmount what you're just talking about, though, is if we're working on our mindset, bro. It's so simple. Like, work on your mind, sharpen your axe every day. So, like, when you do come encounter these trees, you just cutting it, you moving on to the next. Cutting it because we all know storms are going to happen in this life. That's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm sharpening my mind every day, once that storm does come, I'm going to know how to circumvent those obstacles, you know what I'm saying? So
most definitely.
That's just what it is.
But the crazy part, though, is like I learned this from a mentor. One of the easiest things to do, right? We all got a mind. We all can learn. We all can pick up a book. That's easy. Right. The library is free, but sometimes the easiest things is the easiest thing not to do.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's you can literally sharpen your mind every single day.
That's true.
But that's so easy. Sometimes like, oh man, that's too easy. I don't even really want to do that.
Yeah. Like it's just also I feel like it's lack of execution too. You know what I mean? Like y'all are episode 30?
Yeah.
So that say a lot about your execution, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're executing currently, but like some people, I'm gonna be real. Like even me, like I couldn't even get past 10 on my podcast, bro. Like I was okay. You know what? This just ain't for me right now. So I commend y'all. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Thank you very much.
Most definitely.
Yo, the crazy part about that though is like, it is April.
Yeah.
In just a little more than 4 months, Mike, we'll be at a year doing this.
Crazy.
Wow, a year?
Yeah,
oh my!
Come August, we will be a year into this.
Man.
Oh, for real? A year for a
year.
Congratulations.
In August.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Just a little more than 4 months.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, like, what's the secret? Like, what keeps y'all going? Like, what keeps y'all, doing this?
Just the fact that, I'm just going to speak for me personally,
Okay.
but just the fact that our people are still where they are in life. I don't think I want to stop this until I know I've made enough of an impact to where I can pass the torch to somebody else to carry it on and help, rally the troops, so to speak, or get the spark lit enough to where like there's a flame for that reaches a lot of people to kind of just like go out there and talk about mindset and talk about how we can elevate ourselves to think differently about a lot of situations that we don't normally think differently about.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, that's my motivation, man. I just got to keep that going until that time comes to pass the torch.
Absolutely. What about you?
For me, what keeps me going first and foremost is I think having like a partner. It's like I remember me going to him and him coming to me. We talking, sitting outside brainstorming about this. It's like that commitment that we first initially had. And I'm like, bro, I can't stop, bro. Like I don't want to waste this man's time.
Right,
I'm saying y'all want to do this, and he's motivated to do it. And I'm like, I don't want. To me, that keeps me going. And then I also believe that this is something that's bigger than us. I feel like this is a vehicle that's going to get us to some place that we don't even know yet. Like the fact of y'all sitting here, bro, we didn't see this at first when we first started. Like when I look at this setup, like it really like, man, this is growth. Because, bro, we didn't have none of this equipment.
Bro, we started with 2 iPhones, ring lights.
Bro, we might as well be holding the phones like this. Like, I mean, and to see where we at now, bro, to see the building that we in and all this, it shows me that, okay, something's there. And it's going to continue to present itself as long as we keep going, as long as we don't give up.
Yeah.
Again,
and it's only going to grow.
Like I said, just by y'all's responses, though, 2 things I picked up, like, about y'all's mindset and then y'all's execution. Like you said, commitment. That's a key word, bro. Like, get familiar with that word, people. Like, because that's what, if you want to really tap into entrepreneurship, like, that's what it takes. It takes commitment.
Yes, sir.
And then just like I said, y'all's execution. Y'all on episode 30, so that say a lot about y'all's work ethic. Look at the facility we in. Y'all had to go out and network. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all been putting the work in. Some people just at the crib not talking to nobody, so their thing is not growing. You know what I mean? So y'all
closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. And I would say, man, make sure you find somebody like, I don't know, like what it is with B. Like, I already saw something in B. Like, I was like, man, I know if I get with him, it's gonna be something that can be more than what we're doing. Like, cause he just had something in him that I was like, okay, we can keep this going. Like, when I feel like I'm lacking, I know BB on like, yo, we need to do this. Like, he's looking up something I'm not looking up. If he's just not feeling it, I can give him some positivity just like that to keep him going. Right. It's just like we can feed off each other, and we just, I don't know, it's something that we know, like, yo, okay, we can make this work because we know who each other are. And I think that's big.
Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell, man. So to anybody watching or listening, just take everything that we are saying right now and apply it to your lives. If there's something out there that you want to go for it.
Yep.
And don't give up. And you can't, I'm not going to say you can't do it by yourself, but if you feel like you can't do it by yourself, keep doing it anyway. And if you still feel like you can't do it by yourself, surround yourself with people who are going to help you to keep pushing.
Yeah, most definitely.
Together, everyone achieves more, man. Just remember that.
I was gonna say a lot of, like, some of it too is like spiritual, because I feel like 90% of what we do when it comes to work, 90% of it needs to be like God needs to be included. I mean, God needs to be included 100%, obviously, but like 90% of the work is the spiritual work.
Right.
If there's no faith and you're not on your knees thanking God and you like really believing, it's not going to manifest, because 10% of it is physical. It's the physical work, you know what I'm saying? So
it's like working out, man.
Yeah, most definitely. It's
like
mind,
80,
body,
90%, like you're dieting, and then the rest is physical.
Right,
like, it's
exactly.
not. So many people just swear it's just physical.
Right.
So speaking of, I just got back in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going consistently now, so hopefully over the next few months you will see a change. If you guys are watching the video, so you will see a change in my physical. I'm back at it.
For sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually me and Tony. We just came up with a thing that we keeping each other accountable, man. Like,
there you go.
We sending each other videos and pictures like that every day. Like, yo, in the gym, like day 2, day 1. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, that's what you need,
right?
And if we don't, we gotta pay each other. So it's like,
that's what's up.
Keep it up.
Y'all can just let me hold the money. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can just give it directly. I'll be the middleman. You know? That way, y'all don't have to worry about spending the money just yet. And then at the end of a certain amount of time, y'all can collect.
We're gonna have to come find you.
Yeah. Just leave it at that.
It's dope, man. I love it.
So, speaking of accountability, man.
What's going on?
What we wanted to discuss today. Brothers. This message right here is strictly for our brothers. You know, ladies listening in, y'all are more than welcome to listen in too, because I feel like some of this may apply to you or some of the men in your lives, but definitely if you feel like it doesn't apply to you, but it may apply to some of the brothers that you know, share this message. Please share it to everybody who needs to listen. Because, again, my main purpose, my mission is what I feel like is just uplifting our community and making a huge impact in the black community. I've said it before and I'll say it again. For those of y'all who are watching specifically, if you have this skin color right here, whether it's as dark as mine or as light as Sean's, doesn't matter. We are all in the same boat. And we need to know, and not even just know, but acknowledge where we are as a people. Because, man, first of all, mindset is everything. You can't make any changes without changing your mind.
Facts.
Like, you can see the world around you and see it, in shambles, but if you don't think to change it, if you don't think of a solution, we just gonna keep having the same problems.
Exactly.
So with that being said, man, I definitely want, again, I want us all to elevate as a collective, all to elevate as a community. But I feel like something's not right with us. And by us, I mean, of course, the community as a whole, but something's not right with the leaders in the community. And by that, I do mean us, fellas. Like, there's a lot going on within ourselves. And it's not all of us, because I know some brothers who definitely got it together, who are definitely working to make things happen for all of us. But there's a bunch of us who, and I say us because I'm included, there's a bunch of us who just don't have it right now, or not going after it right now to make things better within ourselves, to then turn around and make things better within our women, to then turn around and make things better within our children. And the collective as a whole. Something has to give, and we need to hold ourselves accountable as men, as the leaders that we should be, and do something to make some changes. Because nothing changes if nothing changes, man.
So what's the start then? If that's the case, then B. So we've identified that there's a problem. What's the start of a solution that can be brought about?
I definitely think that a good start would be to just hold the mirror in front of ourselves.
Yep.
Look at what it is that we battle with on a regular basis. We may already know our strengths. We may already notice, everything that we do right. But what is it that we're doing wrong? Or what is it that we're not doing at all? If we hold that mirror up in front of ourselves, maybe we can identify certain issues that we have within us. And then once we identify it, then we could work on it.
That's hard though. That's hard to be like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. What you mean, bro? Who are you? Who are you to tell me that, bro? Look at what you doing. That's what a lot of people do. They deflect.
You're right. You're right.
Look at what you doing wrong, bro. How you gonna tell me that I'm doing something wrong?
And that's where the conversation comes in. And I'm glad that we are all here having this conversation today, because we can certainly point out, again, like we're about to discuss today, like we can certainly point out each other's flaws, in a certain way. Like there's a certain way to do it. So for your people around you, for the people in your circle, for the people who you kick it with the most, you know them well. So you can not only point out their strengths, but you can point out their weaknesses. But there's a way to go about it. Like for you, Mike, I wouldn't just say, yo, Mike, your t-shirts are too small, man. I need you to wear a bigger shirt, bro. Like, I would come to you in a different way. Like, yo, Mike, man, that tee looks clean on you, brother, but I'm afraid you might need to go, like, a size or two up. And that's not me roasting you. Like, that was the first thing that came to mind.
I know. Or you could be like, I see you getting bigger, man. You might need to get a bigger size on the shirt, man.
There you go. See? It starts off with a compliment, but it still gets the point across. Right?
I mean, I feel like we just need to address, like, what's the issues in the community. Like, so what are some issues that y'all are observing that, that we need to kind of, like, find solutions to?
That's a good question.
Yeah, what are the issues?
Well, I will say, since Mike started it off with keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Okay.
We talked about it briefly, but there's a lot going on mentally within that situation.
Yeah.
I don't know Will Smith from anybody else on the street. Like the most I know about him is what I've seen with him acting. And I mean, that's just that. It's acting. It's not really him. But I can honestly say that one thing that social media has done to today's world is it's put a magnifying glass over everybody who decides to put their business out there in the world.
Yeah.
And from that, from what I've seen, from what I've observed, is that his marriage, man, is not the best fit for him. And I think that with that, it's really, like, I don't want to say toxic, but it's affecting him in a certain way to where he's been the butt of so many different jokes over the last at least 2 years.
Yeah, that family is definitely being attacked a lot, and like I said, I feel like that's why he did kind of react the way he did in the Oscars. Like, what you think? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think that, there's some type of trauma there?
Oh yeah, there's definitely trauma, and I didn't read his book, and I'm more interested to read his book.
Me too. Facts.
But I heard like they said something about how he's been dealing with like internal anger or like bottling up some anger, and especially like you said, all we know is from like what we see, and like for me it was shocking to see, because like in social media you see him always happy talking about, guys, do this, this is how you gotta live life, you gotta be this and stuff like that, and then like we saw this man become really human, you know, and it shocked the whole world.
Exactly.
And like that's just the definition of what's going on internally. And to go back to, you know, what's the solution or where do we start off? We start off from inside, and a lot of us are really, we're too comfortable with where we're at, and it's like we can't help each other if we can't help ourselves, you know. That's where it starts. You know?
Big facts.
Yeah. And if you don't know how to talk about those things and outlet them, bruh, it can be definitely dangerous. Because I think about myself, right? So, for instance, I've gotten into new roles as far as leadership and like management goes and ownership, right? And when I come into work, right, I have to realize, okay, whatever's going on in my life, I have to literally leave it at the door.
Right,
I can pick it back up once I leave out this place, but when I come in this building, I gotta leave whatever going on at the door, and then I gotta take care of these other people. Like I have to tend to other people and there's emotion and everything, right? So I look at Will Smith and I'm thinking like, okay, he's a celebrity, bro. He kind of gotta like, wherever he go, he gotta realize, okay, I gotta be on 10.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have that outlet, maybe, I don't know, to really like, okay, I can let my guard down, because you got the whole world watching you, bro. You have the whole world having an opinion about your relationship and stuff like that. And I'm a type of person, bro. I'm private. I believe you keep your relationship private, because when you got everybody in there, bro, you see the opinions that people gonna have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why I just don't. As an artist, I need social media. As an entrepreneur, I need social media to market myself. But outside of marketing myself, you're not gonna see me post anything else. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to post like the hottest meme or celebrity gossip, or you know, this person is getting into an altercation with. I don't care about that. That's ain't nothing but escapism. Yeah, it's escaping your reality, so you don't have to deal with it. Like, just deal with your reality, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I guess like all that to say is like, I can't speak on Will Smith. I don't know what he got going. I'm sure there is some type of trauma there, but I know, like me personally, I do have certain traumas that I know I may need therapy for. You know what I'm saying? And just like having safe spaces like this cultivated to where we can like come together and talk about that. I should like. I don't really know. I just met Toni today. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we do need those safe havens to where we could like I can open up to him. Yeah. And he feels like, you know what I'm saying, like I can, that, you know, that resonates with me in some kind of way, because he may be, I don't know what he's going through. You know what I mean? You don't know what nobody's going through, but just all that to say is like, yeah, we do need more like safe spaces cultivated for like black men to come together and talk about their traumas. You know what I mean?
That's real talk.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was gonna bring that up a little later in the episode.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
No. You good. Like Mike did ask for solutions. Like y'all both asked for solutions, and I think that is definitely an important solution.
Facts.
I think about how us as black men, we don't really have many safe spaces, and I can't really think of too many off the top of my head, but I know one safe space typically for black men is a barbershop.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know,
absolutely.
It's like we're all there. We all get cuts, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. I look like I need a cut right now because I do.
Same.
Don't judge me. Judge yourself. Right? But other than that, man, whenever I'm in the barbershop, like, you know, I'll be chopping it up with the barbers, and we all have great conversation. The other customers that I don't even know from Joe Blow off the block, you know what I'm saying? I don't know these guys, but we all in there having great conversations that we can relate to, laughing, music blasting. And the barbershop I go to is ran by a 50-something-year-old gentleman. So, I mean, if it's not like today's hits playing, he got, you know, some classic hits playing. And it's just like, yo, the song takes me back. And I wasn't even born yet, but I remember Grandma and Granddad used to play this on Saturday mornings and stuff like that. And we would just chop it up over stuff like that. And it just feels good. And it's just like, you know, you're in an area with your peers. And you can have great, genuine conversation and get a great like release. You can get a lot of stuff off your chest without being judged.
Right, exactly.
And I think that that's something that we need as black men in general, because I even think about a lot of spaces like this, like podcasts. Oh my gosh, there's so many, especially ladies, do not take offense to this, because I know this is not all of y'all, but there's so many women out there who have negative connotations regarding men on podcasts.
Man, this is one girl I used to talk to. She was like, and another thing I'm getting tired of is men with podcasts. I'm like, why though?
Right.
But they feel like, from what I've been hearing, you know what I'm saying, they feel like we, you know, we come up with certain biases against them that they have issues with, which, you know, I'm sure, you know, there are certain podcasts that talk about like different things, but
they think about
it can't be that bad though. You know what I'm saying?
That's the first thing they think about.
They think about what?
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
Man, I ain't gonna cap. Like I don't really, bro. When I tell you I don't be on social media, I don't be on social media. So I know who that is, but I've never seen a video from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like his name keeps coming up, so I'm gonna have to tap in. You know,
and this is by design too. And I had this
privy,
conversation with a young lady yesterday. She brought up Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
She wasn't talking negatively about him. I guess from the conversation that we had, she was kind of like on the fence about him. Like she knows he spits the truth for the most part, but you know we agreed that we don't agree with everything that he says, which you shouldn't. Like why agree with every single thing?
Right.
But one thing that I brought up in the conversation was, okay, guess who most of his following is?
Women.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's women.
Okay, so like, how did it get there though? Because like I said, I don't follow him. How did he build up this women rapport or like this following?
I think it came from kind of the negative. Like it was just the way he would talk to women. He would tell them honestly. It was a lot of truth, but it was a lot of like stuff that sometimes us as men we tiptoe around. Like for instance, if you talk about a woman, like if a woman's big, he gonna straight up tell you ain't got no man because you big. Like
That's what that like him.
Like just like that. Like, and that sparked a lot of conversation.
I respect that.
And that's the thing though, because he was like, oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
I was gonna say, because for 3 years when he started his channel, he's been talking to men for years.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was talking to us for years. And see, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. He was talking to men for years. And you know how we talk to each other.
Yeah.
Especially how we were raised. People talk to us a certain way. Everybody's straightforward with us. A lot of people don't care about how they say what they say to us because, oh, you're a man. You're supposed to eat that. You're supposed to take it. Go do some push-ups or something. Don't cry about it. Like, toughen up. Yeah. That's what we're expected to do. So anybody like who, whether it's our parents, our family, whatever, even from little boys, man, they would talk to us a certain way. But women have never really received that same treatment. Like Mike said, you would tiptoe around certain things when talking to women, and they've gotten that treatment for the most part. Maybe not all women. I can't speak on all of y'all. But for the most part, they've gotten that treatment since they were little girls. They've always been treated like princesses. So the way that you speak to them is a certain way. And like how Mike said, instead of saying fat, he said big, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? But Kevin's going to tell you like how it is. The same way he talked to us men is the same way he talked to them. He's just spitting the truth. And that right there, it just sparked like so many people, mostly women, but just coming after him and was like, how dare you talk to women that way? You must hate black women. You must hate your mama, blah, blah, blah.
We all need to figure out how to become on one accord, like, because in life, the man and woman energy needs to, experience some type of duality. You feel me? Like, we have to come together. Yeah. It can't keep being this toxic and hostile situations, in my opinion. So, there has to be some type of solution for that as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
They need to let their guard down. They need to, and it's also like, I remember
be more submissive.
Yeah. That's a tough word.
But it's true. It's
very true.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. You're good because
I hear that a lot.
I hear that a lot too. And like, I was talking to a friend of mine, and like, we had a pretty good conversation. It was pretty open, and she was talking about how like with guys, I don't want to put her business out there. Talking about a specific person or whatever, right? And talking about why he can't, open up to her and stuff like that, right? And it just has me thinking about like, because in that certain situation, I'm thinking about myself as well, because I tend to struggle with like opening up, even with like people who are close to me. Like I'm just now like getting to that point, and like it's a risk, and I'm learning that you have to just take that risk, when it comes to like opening up to somebody, being transparent and just opening up that boundary. And that's what a lot of people don't want to do. And when it comes to men and women, black men and black women, we don't want to open up to this person because we don't know, we think they're gonna hurt us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, especially all the trauma that we're going through, and all the other trauma you hear from other people, and like you'll put that on somebody else, and it's just like, I don't know, because I tend to like just, I'm about to start something, with this person, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking about my past. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen here. I'm like, nah, I see some red flag. I don't know, I'm out. And it's like, not everybody is perfect, you know what I'm saying? But that's one thing with the whole duality thing. It's like we can't mesh together because there's too much fire and ice going on, too much like name calling, not enough, self-evaluating, like what do I need to do to, because everyone wants to take, nobody wants to give, what I'm saying?
That's it right there. That is exactly it right there. And even this is what I'm hearing from a lot of our women, right? When it comes to submission, first, there's a ton of women out there who just hear the word submission and they think it's such a negative word. Mm-hmm. And even when you brought it up, or when both of y'all brought it up, Tony, I know you was like, that's a tough word.
Yeah.
It kind of is because of the conversation that usually comes after the word submissive is brought up, right?
Yeah.
That conversation right there is typically not a good one.
Yeah.
But we need to change that.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I'm hearing from a lot of our women is they're not submitting because of us. Because a lot of us don't know how to lead. Mm-hmm. So because a lot of us do not know how to lead, there's not really many of us for them to submit to. Mm-hmm. And I can see that. I can definitely see that. Mm-hmm. And, that's why I'm glad that we're here talking about this conversation today, because really, there's a lot of brothers out there that just be on some craziness, man. It's like,
that's not fact.
Yeah, they don't want to submit to that.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, there was a thread online that I saw. It was on Instagram, but it was from Twitter about how a lot of these men were coming after women, sending them outlandish text messages. And when I read through some of that stuff, and y'all seen it, it just blew my mind, Like,
this is one girl I follow on Instagram, and she be posting like questions and stuff, and she was like, "What's the most craziest thing that a man has sent you?" And like, bro, it was just unreal. Like, like, bro, just the responses and like genitals and you know what I mean? Like, for real, bro. Like.
It's like this TikTok. I don't know if y'all remember this TikTok.
Oh, with the community. Bro.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the TikTok, but
getting straight to
somebody was just
like, hey, I ain't mean to.
No, you good. It's real. It's absolutely real.
I'm like,
but it was like dating in 2021 be like, oh, so what's your favorite color? Red. What's the color of your nipple? Like what?
Yeah, like, there's no chill now. Like we trying to get straight to it now.
Yeah.
Like we just nothing real can be cultivated that way.
Exactly, and that's I think that's what a lot of brothers don't understand. There's one thing about being straightforward with women, because a lot of women do appreciate. Maybe not so much the straightforwardness, but being open and honest up front,
like
right?
Your intentions are
right, letting your intentions be known from the jump, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And a lot of women are appreciative of you letting your intentions be known up front. Mm-hmm. But it's just a way to go about it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you don't just, what's the color of your nipples? Like, if that's not, like, if y'all are not on that sexual tip, don't bring none of that up, man. It's too soon. Like, if you just want to let a young lady know, like, listen, this is what I'm on right now. I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want, like a friend with benefits. So I want to, do this, that, and that, whatever. If she's with it, she's with it. If she's not, move on.
I mean, if I can say something, the thing that I've been finding difficult as an entrepreneur is the fact that, a woman understanding that I am an entrepreneur. Yes, I have 2 jobs and I'm working and trying to do things like that, but I'm not trying to stay at these jobs, bro, forever.
Facts.
And the thing is, it's like, women, they do like, what's the word I'm looking for? They like consistency, but they also want
ambitious.
Security. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. So entrepreneurship don't come with a lot of security in most, in the startup years.
Yeah.
When you're at the grassroots level of everything, it don't come with security. So that's the part I'm kind of having to struggle with, because, there are a lot of hypergamous women out there, and they seek to, if he can't take care of me, then they're trying to like move up the food chain, if that kind of makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the part I'm struggling with, like with dating in Atlanta. It's just so weird. Like I have good intentions, and they say they recognize me as a hardworking and ambitious man, but like I may not come with like the complete security that they're looking for. But it's just like, why we even got to get to that point when I'm just trying to get to know you right now? You feel me? Like, don't worry about the security and all that. Look at me, like, let's keep things very superficial so that when we do slowly peel back layers, we can kind of see like what that looks like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did that make any sense?
No, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but you know, they already jump into, oh, well, he can't take care of me, so I got to move on to the next.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem with, in my opinion, with the community as well.
So to that point, man, I think that I really think that a lot of us need to just really focus on ourselves for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And I wish that I had, you know, older gentlemen tell me this when I was in my 20s. Because, Mike, you and I have talked about this before, man. I've calculated, like, the many years that I was in relationships in my 20s, man. And out of 10 years, right, I was in a relationship for 7 of those 10 years, brother. So
in your 20s?
In my 20s,
okay.
yeah. And it's not like it was 7 consecutive years, obviously. Like, it was, there were, like, several breaks between the 3 relationships that I was in my 20s.
Okay.
But it totaled out to 7 years, man. Now, imagine if somebody told me, like an older brother told me, you know, hey, don't worry about the women right now. Focus on you. Worry about building yourself up. Worry about finding your purpose, your passion, what it is that you feel like you were sent here to do. Get that. And then once you get that, the women will come. Because they're looking for this, that, and that in a man for the most part. And if you don't really foot the bill for what it is that they're looking for, chances are they're not really going to mess with you like that.
That's real.
Granted, none of us can see the future, but you mentioned the word hypergamous, Sean, and that's true, man. I think that's part of their nature. Like, it's in their nature to be hypergamous. Women typically date higher than them or laterally. So if a guy's not on their level or higher, for the most part, a lot of women do not want to deal with that man. But us men, we date down. There's nothing, like, we typically date down. Like, there's a lot of brothers who are looking for a come up, and that's on them. But for the most part, we have no problem. Like if we were 7-figure earners, well, I don't know about all of us, but you're married, you're out of this conversation. For me, I don't care if I was a multi-millionaire, man. If I found a beautiful woman working at Chick-fil-A and I wanted to talk to her, I would talk to her, and I wouldn't mind dating her. Yeah. But we can't say the same for a lot of women. If they were multi-millionaires, you think they're going to look twice at a man at Chick-fil-A?
They think differently than we do. We go off attraction, they go off security. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, like, with us having that understanding, in my opinion, like you said, we just need to work on ourselves and, like, just have tunnel vision until, because, like, my grind is going to attract, you know, the right woman for me.
That is true.
And I definitely see that too. Like, even with me being married, like, that was one of the things that me and my wife had to have a conversation on, because, like, I want, my mindset is ownership. It's always been like I want to own my own. I don't want to have to work for somebody. But my wife was like, you know, okay, I see you going after all these things, but we still got bills.
Right, exactly.
And if you not, like, you know, granted, I was blessed. You know, when my wife first started talking, like, my wife was making more than me. And she was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm good. I'm making more than you. But, like, I need you to be fronting a lot of these bills. I need you to take care of me. Like, makes you feel like I'm secure. Because if not, then women, they go based off what you give them.
Exactly.
And then that's what, in return, what they feel like they can give you back. But if you feel like you can't even get them security, they're like, why am I with you?
Right.
That's tough.
But again, those are the lessons I feel like I kind of missed growing up.
Yeah, you know me too.
That's where the trauma comes from.
And I think it starts a lot, of course, in the home. Like,
definitely.
And in all honesty, man, in the black community, a lot of our fathers were not present.
Right.
Especially in the home, like 24/7. Like, a lot of our fathers were not present. My father was in my life, but he wasn't in the home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And not to put all my business out there, like, my 2 father figures that I had was my dad and my grandfather, right? My grandfather was in the home. Like, I lived with my grandparents and my mother. And my grandfather was there pretty much every day of my life till he passed away, right? So a lot of lessons that I learned as a young boy, I learned from him. Mm-hmm. But he passed away when I was 15, right? Mm-hmm. And then around that same time, my father had a massive stroke, man. And he lost a lot of his, like, short-term memory. And around that time, I was just, you know, getting ready to move from New York to Atlanta. And with that, it was real tough because my grandfather was gone and my dad wasn't all the way there anymore. So who am I getting guidance from? What man am I getting guidance from? And then shortly after that, I lost my father at 23. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even have him anymore. So a lot of the lessons that I feel like I should have learned when I was a young man, especially after, 13 and up, I didn't learn those lessons.
This is a generation that has to understand, like, from male and female in the black community, that we need to be patient with each other, and we can't expedite like having sex, catching feelings early, getting attachments, and also I feel like another thing that's messing us up is dating apps. Bro, that does not work. Like, go out, talk to somebody, have a drink, invite somebody on a date. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a man. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, don't slide in no DMs. And that's why I feel like our grandparents' generation had more success rates in marriages, because they actually had to go out and be a man and talk to the woman and get her number and go on a date and court her. You feel me?
Big facts.
Some people don't
That's
know what courting
definitely a
means.
huge part. You're right. A lot of people don't know what courting means today. Like, but the thing about that is, again, to play devil's advocate, our grandparents didn't have the whole world at their fingertips.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Social media.
Right. And I definitely agree that, social media has handicapped us in a way that where a lot of us feel like, oh, well, what we have right now ain't working. Shoot, I can go talk to somebody on the other end of the country. If I live on the East Coast, I can talk to somebody in California and get with them, and they'll treat me better. And then you find out that person is nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Or
like,
the whole time I was in a relationship. You feel me? Yeah, waiting to set you up. Like,
and it's like, stories, the grass ain't always greener. You know what I'm saying? The grass is greener wherever you water it.
Yeah.
Like, real talk. It's greener wherever you water it. So if you're having problems with your relationship, either peace out or work on it. But don't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us seek to really just find better. We always want to find better. And I think that's another reason of why divorce rates are so high in today's world. Whereas, to your point, Sean, our grandparents had it, I won't say easier when it came to marriage, because we know that for the most part, if our grandfathers were out there doing their dirt, our grandmothers definitely put up with a lot of their BS.
Yeah, most definitely.
We know that, right? So with that being said, man, it's just, they still worked on it, right? They didn't just quit. They didn't just say, you know what, I give up, I'm out. And I'm not saying that, you need to put up with anybody's BS that you're dealing with for a long period of time. Something's got to give, right? There has to be some sort of balance within a relationship. Whether you're dating, whether you're exclusive with somebody, or whether you're married, there has to be a balance. There's a reason why men and women were created, right? We are not equal in every single way. There's some things that women can do much better than us, and some things that we can do much better than them. There's a reason why we are able to just come together and form a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
two halves coming together to form a whole. That's part of the design, man.
I just got a question, I want to ask y'all this as well, because B made me think about this as far as, how the male role models that you had, unfortunately they were, taken away from you at a relatively young age. 23 is still young. And, you have a lot of males right now that's even younger than that they don't even have nothing of a father figure or a role model. Because, I think about when a guy came up to me one day, I was talking about changing a tire. He had no idea what that is. And for me personally, I've been blessed enough to have my dad in my life and have mentors around me. So to me, that's yo, you know how to change a tire? But that's not common to everybody.
Right.
So what is something that we can do for these young men out here to get them, or to show them, hey, to get that male guidance, basically? What are some ways, or what are some things that they can do to get that? They may not know how.
Go first, Toni.
Now, is this specifically to anybody, or
Well, I mean, we could speak just on our black young men. Let's start with them.
Really, just being there for them, and with time, I'll put myself out there. I can get so caught up in working and stuff like that I don't even think about putting time for family, and that's something I'm learning. Really working hard to okay, get yourself done, but you also got to remember time is not promised for anybody. Tomorrow's not promised, and you have to be that example. If I want to be a great father figure for my kids, I gotta be a great brother for my younger brother. You know, I gotta be, if I want to be a great husband for my wife, I gotta be a great brother to my sister. You know, and the same thing with my parents. And I can be very hard-headed, you know, because I was also blessed to have a father. But I can say I was definitely hard-headed at times, you know, when it comes to, you know, just learning things and like just, you know, because at times, you know, you don't realize the blessings you have in front of you, you know, until they're gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, sometimes you have to learn that from other people, you know, learn from what, you know, what they didn't have, and then you sit back and you're like, okay, maybe what I'm dealing with, or like this argument, you know, isn't worth like shutting the door on them and like, okay, I'm running away. I don't need you anymore. But you really do. And it really comes down to just really being that example and setting your pride aside, and, you know, being there for others, being there for your brothers and your sisters, not the ones just even close to you, but the ones who are not the ones who are in your blood, but the ones who are outside of your blood as well. I hope that answered your question.
No, I mean, there is no one specific answer, so yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I just feel like it starts with self. We need to educate ourselves. We need to do the inner work on ourselves, because I can't pour into somebody else's cup if my cup is empty.
Most
And
definitely.
I'm just now coming to a point as well, Tony, like to where I'm getting to that point as well. Like I understand that I have to do self-care first,
Yeah.
in order to pour back into other people. So
Yeah.
I just think it starts with us first, because if I don't have the tools, or if I don't even have the knowledge, then how can I convey to somebody else on what to do, what they're supposed to do with their life? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just knowledge itself.
That's really
Yeah.
tough. Okay, most definitely.
That's
Most
very
definitely.
true. Yeah, and the knowledge is there. You gotta be willing to take it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
And apply. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like
Big facts.
doing the inner work. Like
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that has changed me this year, and where I've seen more mental acuity at, is I'm doing a morning routine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waking up, I'm on my knees thanking God bro, every single day, bro. Don't miss a day. I've been journaling. I'll meditate for like at least 10 to 15 minutes. Morning visualization. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
And I read a book. I have to read a chapter a day. And I ain't gonna cap. I have kind of been slipping up on that a little bit. I ain't perfect. You know
You're
what I'm
human, man. You're
saying?
human.
Yeah, but you know, I read today, so I'm reading the 48 Laws of Power. It's a good book.
That's a great
Tap
book.
in. You feel
Yes,
me?
sir.
But just stuff like that, like routine, showing up for self. That's what I mean by like doing the inner work, because then that way a safe space for our young black males can be cultivated from more just people who are present and showing up for themselves on a daily basis.
Ooh, that makes me think. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Message.
Yeah,
So,
facts.
yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Real
That makes
talk.
me think.
So that's it. Like I said, it says a lot about y'all's podcast, because I can tell that y'all are showing up for yourself in order to show up for this. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
That's
So
dope.
what you
Yeah,
look,
for
listen,
real.
like what you do, what you're doing, what you do in the dark is what's gonna show in the light.
Yeah.
So like this
Literally,
shit is showing in the
because
light.
it's
Literally.
bright up here.
Hey, you feel me? You know what
It's
I'm
bright up
saying?
here today.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Shout out to Residual Impact.
Hey,
Appreciate it, man.
man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, everything that y'all said is just right, man.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
there's a lot that we need to do as a collective to help each other out, man. Especially a lot of the brothers out there who people can look at and be like, oh, well, they have it all already. And I'm not just talking about materialism, but they have their stuff together,
Yeah, most
right? They're grown mentally. They're mature. They have something to show for it. Like all of their hard work that they put in, they have something to show for it.
Yeah.
And they can reach out to the younger brothers and just say, listen, if you don't have a positive male role model in your life, this is how, you know, you can do what it is that you need to do. And I'm going to, you know, make it my personal business to help you grow into the man that I know that you can be.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right? We
Facts.
need more of that.
Ooh, that makes me think. Be like, for instance, I this is what I believe. I believe, like, you know, for people that may not have that, you know, they may not have a real father figure in their life, I do feel like God will put people strategically in your path that are teaching you the right things. Like, even though my dad was in my life, I've had so many different people that I can go to as a male father role figure, and they poured into me just as much as him. So I do feel like there's somebody in our lives that we know we can go to, or that's just like that old head that he gonna give it to you right.
Right.
It's just your choice. Do you listen or not? That's been the biggest thing.
And that is definitely big, because we talked about this before the cameras were cut on, man. Like, so many of us are hard-headed.
Yes, so that's the thing.
Yes, and Tony, you brought up that point, man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of us are stubborn.
Yeah, very stubborn, man.
Hey, we honest in here, man. So, shoot,
most
we definitely honest in here.
If I could say something, not to interject.
No, you good.
But
it's a conversation,
for me, it was vice versa. So, like, to put myself out there, my father actually did raise me, and I really appreciate him. Like, he taught me how to lead, how to pay my bills up ahead of time, like how to be, somewhat financially literate. He didn't know everything, but he taught me what he knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have my mother in my life, so I feel like that is kind of like where the dating disconnect is with me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what that looks like. Outside of my grandmother, she's like, I love her to death, God rest her soul. But I never really grew up in a household where it was like a man and woman. It was just a man, and he had to spend a lot of time at work. So that is why entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is an integral part of life. You have to be present. You know what I'm saying? To lead. So to teach your tribe how to lead someday. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
So yeah, like I kind of have had like a disconnect when it has come to like relationships. Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool like as far as being platonic, but like as far as like taking it to the next level, sometimes I may not know what that look like. You know what I mean? So I know, bro, I promise you, bro, I'm going to do the inner work myself before I enter the next thing. You know what I mean? So
you're absolutely right about that, man. It's there's just a lot that we have to do, and I'm grateful to be surrounded by the married men that I am surrounded by, because, like I said, I've been asking questions, and I'm going to keep asking questions because I want to know how I can get to where it is that y'all are at. So that's definitely a good solution. We need to surround ourselves with more people who have the outcomes that we want, so that we can start asking them questions and get to those outcomes.
right.
And of course, more male spaces like such as this, like where we're having nice conversation, like getting to the root of certain problems. And hopefully, brothers, a lot of y'all brothers, and whoever's out there listening, especially the fellas, man, for those of y'all who are listening, just like think about everything that we've talked about so far. Think about how you can apply this to y'all's lives, and make sure that you do what it takes to fix yourself first. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's absolutely no way that we can fix the community without fixing ourselves. And there's no way that we can expect the women to want to follow us if we're not going anywhere. We got to go somewhere. We have to have a plan in motion to go somewhere, and Mike, like you said before, man, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You got to have that sense of, this is what it is that I'm doing to focus on me and fix myself first, so that way I have the knowledge and the tools and the steps and the guidance needed to go forward to a certain destination. And with that being said, you know where you're going, and that way you know how to lead somebody who wants to follow you to that specific place. So fellas, y'all have to understand that. Y'all have to listen, and you have to just take heed to that, because these brothers aren't here just having this conversation with me for nothing. We are all having this conversation because it needs to be had. And for you ladies that are listening too, just know that not every single one of us is the same. I know you guys have had negative experiences with a lot of men, but please don't put that on all of us. I know it's tough to trust anybody in general, whether it's a man or a woman. But for y'all, I know it's hard to trust a lot of men. We're not all out here trying to sleep with you. We're not all out here trying to just get your number just because we want to holler at you. No. There's a lot of us who want to cultivate meaningful connections and relationships in the platonic sense, that we just want to just build around us. You never know why somebody's been placed in your life, and you never know why you've been placed in theirs. So just be open-minded to that, and fellas, back to the point with us, man, I feel like a lot of these women are definitely not going to be more open-minded to us, especially as a collective, until we fix our stuff. Like, until we fix what it is that we need to work on and become better individuals, better leaders, better protectors, better brothers, better fathers, better husbands, better men in general, man. We need that.
No, facts.
Yeah.
I know we can talk about this for hours, but man, gentlemen, I thank you guys so much for stopping by, because this conversation once again was needed.
Man. I just wanted to thank y'all for the opportunity. Like, y'all keep doing good, you know what I'm saying? Keep doing God's work, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, and y'all time coming, bro. Just stay consistent.
Thank you.
Most definitely. Thank you. We greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, good energy. Make sure y'all, hey, he got some new heat on the way. Make sure y'all tap in, you feel me?
I gotta tap in on him. Look at
for
the work he's putting on, man. And, I appreciate you guys bringing me out here. Like, this conversation really gave me a lot of information, and like just having an open space like this, it's like I'm thinking about, you know, my boys back home, because I had a friend who was talking about, you know, we need to have, you know, conversation like this, you know, just even just like checking up on each other, you know, and stuff. And like, I know me myself, like I suck at texting nor calling, especially like people who are close to me, and like just having something like this, you know, I'm learning so much, and I'm like, okay, so what could I learn when I go talk to my boys back home, you know? And so yeah, this is the right thing. This is what we need to do.
That's dope, man.
You know?
That's dope. I love to hear that. And that just makes me, I just want to say, you know, to anybody that is watching or listening to this, you know, if you feel like you don't have someone to reach out to, like, reach out to us. Like, DM us, bro. Hit us, give us a message or email, whatever it is. If you want to keep it confidential, we most definitely can. But if you just need somebody to talk to, you know, and so that we can pass off some ideas from one another and help each other out, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
It's all about residual impact, bro. So
literally, like, that's exactly why we named the podcast what we named it, because we need more of it, man. There's a reason why we talk about the topics that we talk about, and there's a reason why we have the guests on the show that we have. You know, it's not just to entertain you guys, but it's also just like really to make y'all think. To make you guys aware of what's going on around you, what's going on around all of us. You know, there's so much out there that we don't understand. There's so much out there that a lot of us don't know. But when you surround yourself with the right people, you will get the right information 100% of the time. And it's just up to you to take that information and be able to apply it to your life so that you can elevate, man. Like, that's what it's about. And once we all elevate, especially as men, like, definitely, I think that we'll have, you know, the right women following us, and then, you know, once they get on board, you know, we can start to have a community to where everybody's gonna want to get on board, even the F boys. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, yo, those brothers are doing something. Let me clean up my act. Let me go ahead and get like them.
Yeah, like lead by example.
Pretty much, yeah. Like they gonna stop texting these women all these outlandish stuff, man. Like
what's your mindset, bro? You feel me? Like,
their mindset is just sex, man. That's all it is with a lot of brothers, man. And I'm not gonna cap. Like, there was a time where that's what I was thinking about, but I was a teenager when I was on that. You know what I'm saying? When I started to get into my 20s, I'm like, okay, I want to be a husband. I thought I was gonna be married by age 28. That was 5 years ago, right? Like, my time came and gone.
Like, marriage looks so much differently than most people, because, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't really look at marriage from a love aspect. I look at it as a business standpoint now, as being an entrepreneur. Like, I feel like marriage should be to bridge families together economically, you know what I'm saying, so that we can continue to progress. Like, I just look at marriage so much different.
And that's what it used to be like even centuries ago. You know what I'm saying? Certain families would blend their families by getting one son and one daughter together to get married. And it's like, okay, well, think about it. You had kings that were uniting with other kings through marriage. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that, I get it 100%, man. Like, it is a business, and it's been that way for a long time. But a lot of us have lost touch with that, and I think that that's a reason why divorce is as high as it is today.
Yeah, for sure. It's just access. You got access to too many people now. Like, I can literally download the app and see just so many girls and just hit all of them up, and whoever respond back is just what it is, instead of putting myself out there, showing like what y'all doing, you know what I'm saying? So like with you, bro, like your time is how I know your time is coming with the woman is because, bro, you're continuously working on you, doing your podcast. Somebody gonna be like, you know what, I like what he got going on. Maybe I want to be a part of that, bro. It's a matter of time, bro. Just wait on God. You feel me?
Most
Literally,
definitely.
let him work. You feel me?
You taught me, like, even after I first met you more than a year ago, timing and alignment, man.
I promise.
I started to live by that
Yeah,
because that's what you been speaking to me since day one.
Real talk, bro. Like, man, just I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed for us to even have this conversation. You know what I mean? Seriously. And I'm blessed for our friendship, bro. Like, cause
most definitely,
what we cultivated was real. You know what I mean?
And it started with
For
Clubhouse,
real.
dog.
Yeah.
Like, it started on Clubhouse.
Like, so that's how I be looking at relationships. If it's organic and it's authentic and it's been over 6 months and you still around my life, there's something there. You feel me?
For real.
You know what I mean? So like, I'll treat women the same. If you only lasted 3 months in my life, you was not meant for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally removed yourself. You feel me? Because I literally stayed the same. I stayed the same Sean. I do not alter or flip flop. Like, there's no fugazi stuff going on over here. So if you didn't last in my life for 3 months, you was not supposed to be there.
I dig that.
Literally.
Wow.
So y'all, we just want to thank Seany Knox for coming through. He had to leave out, and handle some business, entrepreneurial life, so he had to be on the go. We just want to thank him once again for being a guest on the show.
Thank you
we definitely
so much.
appreciate the knowledge and wisdom that the brother brought through, man.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna be the last time we have him on.
Not at all.
But yeah, we still got Toni here rocking with us in the building, dropping some knowledge with us as well. So as black men, we got a question to ask ourselves. What do we want our legacy to be? What do we want the next generation to look like and to act like? If we think about that, then I'm sure a lot more of us will shape up. We'll act different. We'll think different. We'll change the way we're doing things because clearly what's going on is not necessarily working.
Right.
So it's time for us to really, really get serious with ourselves first so that everyone else will take us more serious.
Yeah.
And I think that can be a great place to start.
A lot of us want to be pop stars. A lot of us want to, social media has us, the bling, the chains, all that. It's like we're really distracted by materialistic things as a people. And like me, like I would love to leave a legacy where, and it's weird because it's like I'm going towards that entertainment, So it's like I'm trying to be an aspiring actor, an aspiring artist, And I would like people to, appreciate my art, but appreciate more of me just being myself and loving other people and just trying to help other people, and also just leading by example. And I would like to leave a legacy where just people know me for being myself and to just being the best me, because our leaders right now really are like our artists and actors, it's like those are our leaders,
and
those
athletes.
are and athletes, those are our leaders. And it's like it's great, it's cool, but we also got to look at the people around us as well. Those are one of the most important people. And I remember a friend told me, he was like, and when I was talking about how we need better role models and stuff like that, and like, when I changed my music, when I hopped off the I'm not gonna say I was on a wave, but like the things that I was preaching in my songs, it was just not what I wanted to preach, and it was just like I don't do this anymore, what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I gonna preach that,
Yeah.
And I remember I told him, I was like, I just wanna, it's not what I preach, and like I want to be a better influence, and like there's gonna be people who are gonna listen to me. If I'm gonna be up at that stage, like if I ever get up there, like I'm gonna have fans, I'm gonna have people, and and I don't wanna influence them that way. And he's like, dude, like, okay, you're gonna make this music, but like you're not gonna actually influence these kids. Like they're not influenced by it. I'm like, dude, yes they are. Like they're influenced by this stuff.
Listen,
like you see the generation right now.
The whole generation is influenced by the music that's put out, and that goes with any generation, not just the current generation, but our generation as well. The generation before us, we were all influenced by the music that was put out. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why, like the music that's being played, like there's a reason why all of that stuff exists, and there's a reason why the music industry is so lucrative, and why these record companies have been making so much money over the last few decades. So trust me, those kids being influenced, and the crazy thing about it is, it's just like you turn into what you tune into.
Yeah.
And when you get to a point in your life to where you realize that, you'll start to change what it is that you listen to. You'll start to change what it is that you're watching, what you're consuming. The same thing happens when it comes to like either weight loss or weight gain when you're trying to bulk up, whatever the case may be. Whatever it is that you consume, like whatever type of food you consume, will definitely change your body. Whatever type of entertainment you consume or whatever type of content you consume is going to affect your mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't think about that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the reasons why a lot of what's going on in our community is going on in our community. Because we are so deeply and heavily influenced by what it is around us. Everything is so sexualized. We all have heard the term sex sells, right?
Yeah.
And when we had Autumn on the show not too long ago, Mike, we talked about how influential music could be when it came to like lyrics and what, you know, some of the top things in hip hop talks about.
Right.
And that can be really destructive.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we did a whole episode about it like months ago. And it's just crazy how it's really done a number on our community as a whole. And I'm not saying that, you know, all music is bad, but yo, we gotta learn to separate entertainment from reality.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't know how to do that. A lot of us really, instead of letting art imitate life, we let our lives imitate the art that, you know, we see all these artists put out.
Yeah.
So
What's the point?
I think all in all, man, you know, as y'all heard each take from each person, bro, it's just like, you got to ask yourself, man, if your life were to end tomorrow with the things that you've been doing and listening to, whatever, are you okay with just ending like that? Like, are you okay with the impact that you had on this world? Do you actually want to make a real change or a real impact? Well, hey, like B said, what you tune into is what you turn into. So let's start to shape the things that we're tuning into so that we can turn into the things that we actually want to be, the things that are actually making a difference, so that we can really, really make an impact and a lasting legacy on this world, man. So I think that's the big overall theme that we're trying to give away to people and show them, you know.
For real.
It's a better way, y'all.
And brothers, it starts with us.
Yeah.
Fellas, we're the leaders, man.
Yeah.
Our women, our children, they all should look up to us as leaders, not just a handful of them. They all should look up to us as leaders because we're the providers, we're the protectors, or at least we're supposed to be.
Yep.
There's a lot of us brothers who are filling up those roles as we speak, and they've been doing a good job at it. But there's also a lot of us who aren't doing it, and those of us who aren't doing it are giving a bad name to those of us who are doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just, man, we got to shape up. We all got to shape up. And you know, fellas, if y'all are out there and y'all are actually doing what it is that you're supposed to, good job, man. Like, that's what we're supposed to do, you know. And I know a lot of people don't give you credit for it. You know, I've seen it all the time on social media. Like, why should we give men credit for stuff that they're supposed to do? Because not everybody's doing it. You know, like we want to feel wanted, we want to feel needed, we want to feel thanked, we want to feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, kudos to you if you're out there doing what it is that you're supposed to do. All that I ask is that you hold your other brothers accountable. If you see them slacking, talk to them.
Big facts, big facts.
Amen.
So,
but yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know we can talk about this topic all day long, man. But you know, I hope everything y'all have heard, that y'all apply it to y'all life, not only just hear it, but apply it, and that so that can make an actual change and a difference in your life. But B, I think it's that time though.
what time is it, brother?
It's that time, brother.
What time is it?
And it's that time to get to them answers of the week, brother.
Let's go.
So,
Before we get to the answers of the week, we got to go over the previous question. And the question of the week for last week's episode was, what is one thing you can do to create more of an impact on your life or the life of others?
kind of ties in right what we're talking about today, honestly.
Most definitely. So with that being said, you know, we want to get into some of these answers, but first, you know, we always gotta talk to our guests first, man. We gotta see what their answers are like. So Tony, what would your answer be to this question, brother?
Could you repeat the question, please?
What is one thing that you can do to create more of an impact on your life or the life of others?
Pretty much what we've been saying, you know, self-evaluate. You know, if you want to help others, you gotta be able to help yourself. And you gotta put that pride aside, that thinking, you know, that you're good, you don't need no help. You know, you gotta talk to yourself and be like, all right, man, what have you been doing wrong? You know, obviously you haven't been getting work done. So what's that work that needs to be done? You know, and once you start there, you can create the impact for others, because other people are gonna watch you, and it's like if they don't see you, they'll see the results. You know, like everything that happens in the dark is gonna show in the light. So it's like if they see those results are poor, they're like, he's not the right dude I gotta look at. You know, he's not the right example, because he's not giving me anything I can value that's gonna help me. So, you know, you gotta help yourself.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a good answer there.
It is for sure.
Mike,
what is one thing that I can do to create more of an impact on the life of others? I would say, man, just given the wisdom that I've learned from other people and that I've actually applied and see that it works, giving it back. You know, don't feel like, oh man, this person already knows this, because that's something I used to do early on in my life. I used to be like, oh man, they know this. No, you know this. Now it's time to give it out to other people so that they can actually apply it, especially if you know it's something that works and can get people to go in the right direction, right? It's like for instance, how my mentor said, if I was just on 85, which is a highway, by the way, for y'all that don't know, if I was just on 85 and I seen that there was traffic, and I see you about to get on that way, I'm going to say, hey, man, don't get on that road, bro. There's some traffic there. You know, that's me passing on valuable information, because I know what that road contains.
Yeah.
I think it's just the same thing we can do. Just pass on information and wisdom that you know will change people's lives, and don't withhold it.
I dig that.
Yeah, brother. What B? What you got for the people, man?
Well, Mike, I'm just going to read what I wrote down here, and keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that this was 5 days ago from the day that we were recording this. So what I said was, I won't joke about anyone's wife.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth, all right?
Boy, if you don't get... Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's exactly... that's it right there. That's my answer, and that's the response. So, since we gave our answers, let's go ahead and get into the answers we've received from y'all. Oh, man. Starting with Foreign Coco. She said, believe in myself to the fullest capacity. At that moment, I will be able to truly live in my purpose of helping others without my fear of success.
I like it.
Shout out to Foreign Coco.
So from Am I in the Wrong Room podcast, they said, use your voice, speak the truth always. We don't know what anyone else is living through. Your ability to explain what has happened to you and what the tunnel is like will help guide someone else to the light at the end of the tunnel. Making up all that is well versus what's working towards all being well is where the magic is. So many people get trapped inside of what is happening to them just because we talk about each other and show off more than we shout the lessons we've learned.
Wow.
Man, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that wow.
Shout out to Kimberly, Am I in the Wrong Room podcast.
Dope.
Just launched season 2 of her podcast, so go ahead and check her out.
Facts, big facts.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those were the answers of the week. And actually, you know what?
What up?
I gave a bogus answer because, you know, when I typed that answer, like I said, it was 5 days ago as of this recording. So I say one thing that I can do to honestly impact my life or the life of others is just everything that I'm doing right now, man. The fact that I push so hard to push out this content, like, I'm losing sleep editing, man. Like, literally, last night, bro, I went to bed at 2:30 in the morning, and you know, it's because I had just finished uploading 2 new YouTube videos, which, by the way, as you guys are watching this, it's been days since I've uploaded those videos. If you haven't checked them out, go ahead and do so. It was episode 28 of the podcast featuring Autumn Jeanette, and it was our latest version of our bloopers reel. Come on, y'all gotta love that. Today is April Fool's Day. Of course, y'all not listening to it on April Fool's Day, but you gotta laugh. Everybody needs a laugh, especially with the way the world is today. Go check that out.
It's medicine.
For real. So that's it right there, man. The simple fact that I can, you know, take all this footage, take all the audio, and compile it into something that the people are going to enjoy. You know, that's what I'm doing to make an impact on other people's lives. Yeah, we can sit here and talk all day, but if nobody's hearing what it is that we're saying, our voice is not going to be heard.
Big facts.
That's like the saying, you know, if you chop down a tree and nobody's around, does it truly make a sound when it falls? I mean, the answer is yes, obviously. It makes a sound, but nobody's around to hear it. So nobody knows that tree gets chopped down.
Yeah.
You know, actually, they say no. They say it doesn't make a sound because to make a sound, someone has to actually hear it and take in something like that. I heard that. Like, somebody broke it down scientifically.
It makes sense. Like, it really makes sense. But who's chopping down the tree? The person is obviously there chopping it down.
Ooh. Okay,
So-
sorry, we're not gonna go there. Just made me think of something else. But that's deep. That's deep.
You know, when you said that, now I remember what I was gonna say. There was something you said earlier. You asked the question. You said, I think you said, "Oh, why are you doing?" I think he asked. Sean asked, "Why are you doing this?"
Right.
How can we impact our people? You know, I was always thinking about, okay, how can I help my other brothers and sisters? It's what we're doing. It's what we're doing right now. That's how we do it. That's how we be the example. You know, by doing what we love and, you know, putting in that work. You know, talking to our brothers and sisters. You know, that's how we become that impact. And everything that we're doing right now, that's how we can become the impact. You know. Yeah.
Tony, like, losing sleep is something that I'm so familiar with doing right now at this point because this is something that I love.
Yeah.
Like, I literally got about 3 hours of sleep last night because I edited those 2 videos. And I woke up early this morning because my dog wanted to go outside, right? And I didn't go back to sleep. I got 3 hours of sleep, uploaded those 2 YouTube videos, started chopping up content to put out on Instagram to push to the people, right? I do this for me, my legacy, my future, my family. I do this for Mike and for his wife.
Hey, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Bruh. Not gonna say it again.
You said that the last time.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, I guess I don't do this for his wife. I do it for me. I do it for me and the people listening, okay?
Oh my gosh.
So that's the last time, okay? That's the very last time, all right? It's not going to happen again. But with that being said, you know we cannot just end the episode with just giving you the answers for last week. We have to give you another question.
Yes, sir.
So, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a question for this week?
How would you describe freedom in your own words?
That is a good one.
Really good.
That is a really good one.
Makes you think, brother.
It definitely does. And I think that ties a lot into everything that we talked about today. Because to me, and I'm going to give my answer now, to me, freedom is truly owning our own. Truly being able to control what it is that we want to control around us. Like Jay-Z said in the song, I got the keys, right? Till we own our own, we can't be free. How are we still slaves in 2016? Well, I mean, it's not 2016 no more, obviously, but till you own your own, you can't be free.
Yeah.
And I know we talked about this briefly before the cameras cut on, but it's just like we need more of us in positions of power, not just athletes, rappers, actors, entertainers in general, not just that type of power. We need more politicians. We need more lawyers. We need more judges. We need more police commissioners. We need more people in positions of power who look like us, who serve our best interests, who speak and represent for our community.
Yeah.
That's what freedom looks like to me, because I feel like once we have that, we can truly fight and let our voices be heard for real.
Yeah.
I agree.
You hit the nail on that one, man.
Thank you.
Freedom is having control of your mind, because even your mind, you know, like you said, your mind can be your enemy. You know, you can be your worst enemy, your worst friend, and you gotta be your best friend. You gotta be your biggest fan. And if you let your mind decide how, you know, you're gonna live your life out, then you know you're locked up. You know, you're in chains. You're not really free. So until you learn to master, you know, your mind, then you can really be free. Because I mean, outside here we can, you know, take it back 400 years, you know, they were physically locked up, you know.
Yeah.
But we were obviously free in our mind, because look at where we are right now, you know. They were free spiritually. And it's the same thing here. Even though like now, like we still kind of have an invisible shamble on our people, but when we get our mind right, then we'll be free.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give mine right now. I'm gonna let what they said soak in, because I think that was definitely something to think about right there in itself. So I'm gonna let that marinate on y'all for a while.
Let that sizzle in your spirit.
Exactly. But yes, to those of y'all that want to answer that question, you already know you can go to our Instagram. We will post it this week. You can put it in the comment section. You can leave us a comment here on YouTube. You can email us if that's what you would like to do at residualimpactpodcast@gmail.com. You can also write us on Twitter. You can also write us on TikTok if you want to. You can get at us at a lot of different ways. But yes, we just appreciate y'all. We love to hear y'all answers, y'all feedback. Hey, and this is why we do it, man. Because we want y'all to get y'all to think in different ways that you might have not been able to think about before.
Most definitely. And with that being said, Toni, we want to thank you so much for stopping by today. It has been a great conversation, a great episode.
Yes, sir.
Greatly appreciate you, sir. Sean, I know you watching this, brother. Thank you so much for stopping by today, joining the amazing conversation that we've had.
Yes.
Big shout out to the both of you brothers, for real, for real. And we couldn't have done it without you.
Big fact.
Real talk.
Appreciate that.
So, Mike.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
What's up, brother? You about to call
Yeah.
me?
Episode 30.
This is 30. Dirty 30.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
Episode 30.
Episode 30.
It's only up from here.
It is, brother.
And we say that often, but it's only up from here.
It's only up from here. So, come on, man. I mean, what more is there?
The thing we say every week,
What is that?
where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, for episode 31, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
We'll catch y'all later.
Yeah.
Peace.